This year we're also going in with, we're going into a 2.5 year cycle that we've been in for a while with Saturn in the sign of Libra. Bottom line, this is a time for peace in the world. It's a time for peace agreements. It's a time for equitable peace agreements, trade agreements. You'll hear this, and we're in this position up and through October, fall of 2012. Thank goodness, because it's a protection right now, because we're in a 7-year fire cycle, which is a heightened war cycle. So we're being protected with this 2-year peace cycle, so we don't go to war any more than we actually have right now. So this is a real peace cycle that we're in for our long-term processes. It's also a collaboration cycle with businesses. The businesses are learning to collaborate, not compete during this 2 years, to leverage the finances of other businesses through collaboration and through shared income flow, and they're learning not to compete, which means if they're in a competitive mode entirely, they're going to have more and more problems. It's just not the economy in terms of the long-term cycle, it's actually the competing process. So we look at how does that affect individuals. Individuals are learning to collaborate also. They're learning to form right now this out from today, because we're here today, out through fall of 2012. They're learning to form partnerships. They're learning to form relationships. They're learning to form win-win situations with other people where both share in some advantage and maybe both share the risk. So what does that mean? Well, karmically, we've taken it individually as far as we can take it ourselves. Now it's time to ask for help, reach out for another being, another entity, another company, another person, another organization, and give them something and receive something back. So both parties win in this. The divine timing is always an amazing thing, and the fact that we have this peace cycle at the height of this war cycle is quite a blessing and a protection, because this could have gone the other way, and it didn't. Okay? In terms of 2012, and I'll explain that a little bit, in terms of 2012, there's so much focus on 2012 as a turning point, and from a long-term historical basis, 2012 is a turning point in those long-term cycles. From an astrological perspective, we look at what's happening up in the heavens, and we see a reflection back of what's happening on the earth. It's not causing anything to happen, we just see a reflection of it. So what we're seeing right now in the heavens, 2010, and particularly over the last 60 days to 70 days, we've had configurations. July of 2010, August of 2010, early September 2010, which from an astrological perspective are much more severe than 2012. Which means what? Well, we made it through that time. I wasn't convinced that we would. If you would have asked me 5 years ago, would we make it through that time in the heightened war cycle, fire cycle, and various other cycles that are interacting, I'm guessing, probabilities are falling and we're not going to make it. We're going to go into a wider world war. We're going to have some massive earth changes that are going to affect us. But we made it through the most critical time, from my perspective, that we've had here, which means, yes, there'll still be changes late 2011 and 2012, but quite frankly, they're gravy compared to what we've gone through. They're nothing compared to what we've gone through. Our perception of what 2012 means is happening, and it's just happened. Has anything changed? Yeah, everything has changed. And everything is changing, and we have more to change. We have another 10 years of change with that. 2012 is a focus point. The issue with 2012 is, from a mass consciousness standpoint, it's been seized on because of programming within various societies, all the societies, as a fear point to look for an ending point, either an ending with the earth or an ending with society, a reason to leave the planet. And that's not, the truth of the matter is, that's not going to happen from an astrological perspective. We're going to be here 2013, 2014, 2015, 2020. We're going to be here. okay? And we're actually going to be better than we are now. And we actually are going to be working with new modalities that we don't have now. If I can give you a picture of the Earth, if you would have asked me in the year 2000 if this picture could have come into play in 2020, I would have said no. It's not going to happen. But those of you who've done work on yourself, those of you who've done work on the planet, who are involved in healing modalities, healing the planet, healing people, healing economies, these things add up in this synergy. We combine the internet with that, we combine mass communication with that, and the synergy effect with that, and we have, yes, we have to get up and live every day, but quite frankly, we are through the most critical time. And that's a reason for celebration. And if I can paint you a picture of the Earth that we can finally see because we're beyond this critical time, it's 2020. What the Earth looks like in 2020, right? What is it? Well, if I go out into space and I look at the Earth in 2020 in the chart from a satellite, it's a green planet. It's a greener planet. Thought some process has made that happen. So I see more trees, I see more green. I see cleaner water. I see a more equitable, some kind of more equitable share on the resources in terms of what countries are doing and how they're paying back into the system. So we're learning to pay back into the Earth, to take care of the Earth, to nurture the Earth, and have that take care of us. It's not a religion, it's just reality of what we're learning. The economy is also learning that, which is a good thing, because that actually, we get what we value and what we spend money on are going to be more Earth-centered processes. And we have a new economy coming up that very few can see that has to do with new sustainable Earth-centered technologies, new processes that are taking us into the future. All of us have to let go of something, quite frankly. You have to let go of something. Something that's near and dear to you from the past. We don't get into the new world until we let go of something that is inhibiting us from the old usage of how we viewed reality. So ask yourself, what am I letting go of? And my passion's waking up, so I'm not going to kid myself. I'm going to look directly in the mirror and say, what is myself telling me about my passion? What's my passion? Next question, am I going to let anyone or anything deter me from pursuing over this 7-year period what my passion is? The fire cycle says no. You can't take no for an answer. You have to do it. Not because someone tells you have to do it, but because you're going to do it. So we already know what the answer is for that. In terms of that Earth, what the Earth is going to look like in 2020, that's good news. That's good news because we live here. A greener Earth, more sustainable Earth, and an Earth that has taken some cleansing through the fire element, but quite frankly, that has then let new life come up in certain places. So, congratulations with getting through the most critical time. And my recommendation is to stay completely out of fear with this 2012 thing. Stay in love. This energy that is available in these cycles is so dynamic, and with love or with creation ability, with heart-centered ability, we can create new archetypes for ourselves and for other people. There's so much energy available now that you can't see that's available for projects, for ideas, that connect with funding sources, that are new funding sources, that get you to the right place at the right time. So it is a new world, but you don't have to wait for it. It's here. It's already here. So.